Hey everyone, welcome back to SwitchTop. Today we're counting down the top 20 turn-based games on Nintendo Switch. If you love taking your time to plan out your moves instead of button mashing, these games are perfect for you. Let's jump right in. Atelier Ryza, Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout, follows a small-town girl named Ryza who dreams of adventure beyond her boring island life. When she and her friends discover an abandoned island and meet a mysterious alchemist, Ryza becomes obsessed with learning alchemy to change her life. The game's battle system is turn-based, but with a real-time twist. A gauge fills up, and when it's your turn, you need to act fast to chain attacks together. The coolest part is the alchemy system where you gather materials from monsters and the environment to craft items, weapons, and tools. The crafting uses a fun node-based system where you connect ingredients to unlock different effects. It's like cooking, but for making bombs and potions. The game is super chill with no world-ending disaster, just friends exploring, growing up, and discovering the secrets of alchemy together. Valkyria Chronicles 4 takes place in an alternate version of World War II, where you lead Squad E, a group of soldiers fighting against the evil Empire. The game mixes turn-based strategy with third-person shooting in a really cool way. On your turn, you spend action points to move your soldiers one by one on the battlefield. When you control a unit, you can run around freely until your movement gauge empties, then aim and fire in real time. But watch out, because enemies can shoot you while you're moving. Each soldier has a different class, like scouts who run far, snipers who hit from distance, engineers who fix tanks, and grenadiers who bomb enemies behind cover. The game's art style looks like a moving watercolor painting, and between battles, you follow the story through comic book style scenes. The weather affects battles too. Snow makes it harder to move, but can freeze rivers to create new paths.
Calm down! We need suppressive fire now! Don't stop now! Right through!
Triangle strategy puts you in control of Serenoa, the young heir of House Wolfert caught in the middle of a war between three nations fighting over salt and iron. Super important resources in this medieval world. What makes this game stand out is how your choices actually matter. You'll vote with your team on big decisions using the Scales of Conviction system, and these choices completely change the story path and which characters join you. The battles take place on 3D grid-based maps where height advantage is super important. Archers on high ground deal more damage. You need to think about positioning, as attacking enemies from behind does extra damage, and you can push units off ledges or into fire for cool effects. Each character has unique abilities. Some can create ice walls, others can lay traps, or even control the battlefield with lightning and fire magic. The game has multiple endings based on your choices, so you can play again and make totally different decisions. Bravely Default 2 follows four heroes brought together by fate to recover the four elemental crystals and save the world. The game's battle system puts a fresh spin on turn-based combat with the Brave and Default system. Default lets you skip your turn to store up to 3 Brave points and boost your defense, while Brave lets you spend those points to take up to 4 actions in one turn. But be careful, if you go negative on BP, you'll be stuck doing nothing for turns. The job system is where the game really shines. You collect asterisks from bosses that unlock new jobs like White Mage, Thief, or Beastmaster. Each character can equip a main job and sub-job, mixing and matching abilities from both. You'll spend hours finding awesome job combinations, like a Phantom that can dodge attacks while hitting enemies with monk abilities. The towns are gorgeous 3D environments with a hand-painted look, and the characters are cute chibi-style models that show off their awesome job costumes. Fire Emblem Engage follows a lair, a divine dragon who wakes up after 1,000-year sleep to discover the evil fell dragon is returning. Your job is to collect emblem rings containing the spirits of heroes from past Fire Emblem games to stop this threat. The battles happen on a grid where you move your units like chess pieces, with each character having different movement ranges and attack types. The big twist is the Engage system. By wearing emblem rings, your units can temporarily fuse with legendary heroes like Marth or Byleth, getting powerful new abilities and weapons. The rock, paper, scissors weapon triangle is back. Swords beat axes, axes beat lances, and lances beat swords. So you need to pay attention to matchups. Permadeath means your units stay dead if they fall in battle, unless you're playing on casual mode, making each move super tense. Between battles, you hang out at the Somniel, your floating base, where you can cook meals, work out, fish, and build relationships with your allies to unlock powerful team-up attacks.
Lend me your strength.
Tactics Ogre Reborn is an updated version of a classic strategy game where you lead Dunan through a brutal civil war in the islands of Valeria. The story changes based on the moral choices you make. Do you sacrifice innocent people to accomplish your goals or stick to your principles? Battles happen on 3D grid-based maps where height, direction, and unit types matter hugely. The class system lets you transform units into different jobs like knights, wizards, clerics, and special monster classes. The game's world tarot system is super cool. It lets you jump back to any major decision point and see how things would play out differently. The updated version adds quality of life features like being able to see attack ranges and unit paths clearly. Plus, you can now level up classes instead of individual units. The battlefields are full of different terrain that affects movement. Rivers slow you down, high ground gives you attack bonuses, and some tiles have special effects like healing or damage. Mario and Luigi. Brothership brings the famous plumber brothers on an adventure across the high seas after Bowser steals an ancient treasure map. The battle system is turn-based but requires perfect timing. Press buttons at the right moment during attacks to do extra damage or when defending to reduce or even counter enemy hits. You control both brothers at once, a button for Mario and B button for Luigi, creating fun coordination challenges both in battle and while exploring the overworld. The brothers unlock special moves that use both of them together, like Mario bouncing off Luigi's hammer for a powerful ground pound, or teaming up for massive tornado attacks. The game introduces ship battles where you command a crew of toads in large-scale fights against enemy vessels, firing cannons and repairing damage. As you explore islands, you'll solve puzzles that require both brothers working together. Luigi might squeeze through narrow gaps while Mario uses his hammer to hit distant switches. The game is packed with the series' trademark humor, colorful worlds, and wacky characters, plus tons of mini-games like fishing and ship races.
Oh yeah.
Trails to Azure follows Lloyd Bannings and the Special Support Section police team in Crossbell, a small state caught between two powerful nations. The game's turn-based battle system shows enemies on the field before fights start, no random battles, and positioning is key. Characters and enemies move on a field where area attacks and movement abilities create strategic options. The tactical link system lets characters team up for follow-up attacks, healing, or defense when they're positioned near each other. Each character specializes in different abilities. Lloyd is a close-range fighter with break abilities. Ellie uses guns and healing arts. Tio masters magical arts, and Randy wields a transforming weapon for different attack types. Outside of battle, you'll solve cases as police officers, talk to tons of townspeople with their own stories that change after every story event, and use detective-style reasoning to piece together mysteries. The game's world feels incredibly alive, with politics, economics, and technology all playing important roles in the story, making Crossbell feel like a real place where your actions as peacekeepers actually matter.
At 私の番ですね。
Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake brings the classic NES game to life with beautiful pixel art in 3D environments, just like Octopath Traveler. You play as the child of the legendary hero Ortega, setting out on a journey to defeat the archfiend Baramos who threatens the world. What makes this game special is the class system. While you start as a hero, you recruit and customize party members by choosing from classes like warriors, priests, mages, merchants, and more. Later, you can even change their classes while keeping some learned abilities, letting you create custom characters with unique skill combinations. The turn-based battles are straightforward but strategic. You choose actions for your whole party at the start of each round, then watch them play out based on speed. The day-night cycle changes which monsters appear and what NPCs are doing in towns. The game features a huge world to explore with different cultures based on real-world places like ancient Egypt, medieval Europe, and feudal Japan. The remake adds quality of life improvements while keeping the charm of the original that influenced almost every JRPG that came after it. Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 lets you choose from 8 different characters with their own unique stories, like a warrior seeking revenge, a scholar uncovering ancient secrets, or a merchant trying to revive her hometown's economy. The HD 2D art style mixes retro pixel sprites with gorgeous modern 3D environments and lighting effects, creating a world that looks like a living diorama. The battle system centers around finding enemy weaknesses, hit them with the right weapon or element to break their shield and stun them for a turn. The boost system lets you store up points to power up your attacks, and deciding when to save boosts and when to unleash them adds a great layer of strategy. Each character has a special path action they can use outside of battle. Therion can steal items, Ophelia can recruit NPCs to follow her, and Ha'anet can capture monsters to use in battle. In the sequel, each character gets a second path action that changes between day and night, plus you can combine 2 characters' special attacks for devastating combos. The games let you play each character's story in any order, creating a personal journey where you decide what happens next.
Let my arrow fly and true.
What's our plan of attack?
I'll run you through!
Prepare yourself.
Chained Echoes takes
My
place in a
blade
world where
sings.
3 nations are locked in endless war, and you control a group of unlikely heroes trying to end the conflict. The battle system puts a cool twist on turn-based combat with the overdrive meter. Keeping it in the sweet spot gives you bonuses, but push it too far and you'll overheat and get penalties. Each character can equip different weapon types and skill crystals to customize their abilities. The game's coolest feature is the Grimoire system that lets you swap character classes at any time without losing progress. You also get a giant mech called a Sky Armor to pilot in certain battles with its own unique combat style. The pixel art looks amazing with modern lighting effects that bring the world to life. The story touches on serious themes like war and redemption, but still has plenty of funny moments. There's no random battles either. You can see enemies on the map and choose to fight or avoid them as you explore the huge world full of secrets. Fire Emblem. Three Houses puts you in the role of a professor at a military academy where you choose to lead one of 3 student houses: the Noble Black Eagles, the Commoner-friendly Blue Lions, or the Strategic Golden Deer. Your job is to teach students, improve their skills, and lead them in grid-based tactical battles where every move matters. Each student can be trained in different weapon types and class paths. You might turn a knight into a mage or an archer into a heavy armor unit. The game has permadeath, meaning if your students fall in battle, they're gone for good, unless you play in casual mode. Between battles, you spend time at the monastery teaching classes, sharing meals with students, fishing, gardening, and building relationships. Who you spend time with affects your team's battle performance and unlocks special story scenes. The coolest part is that halfway through the game, a time skip happens and your choices before it dramatically change what happens after. With 4 different story routes, you can play through multiple times and see totally different outcomes.
Good idea.
Unicorn Overlord follows Prince Alan on his quest to take back his kingdom from the evil Zenoara Empire that conquered it. The battle system is super unique. Instead of controlling individual units, you lead small squads that fight automatically based on their formation and the tactics you've set. Before battle, you arrange your units in different positions: vanguard, rear guard, flanks, that determine who takes damage first and who supports whom. Each character has a unique job like Knight, Witch, or Hunter, with special abilities that trigger during these automatic battles. The world map lets you liberate towns, complete side quests, and recruit over 60 characters to your army. Between battles, you'll manage your army by equipping weapons, arranging formations, and building relationships between characters who fight well together. The game has a branching story where your choices about which territories to liberate first change how events unfold. The coolest feature is the Royal Decree system, where you make kingdom-wide decisions that affect everything from shop prices to which enemies appear.
You'll see no harm. I shall protect you. We strive to...
Trails Through Daybreak follows Van Arkride, a Spriggan, a jack-of-all-trades problem solver, working in the city of Calvard. The game's battle system is turn-based on a field where positioning matters, characters and enemies move around, and attacks have different ranges and areas of effect. The Hollow Core system lets each character equip special items that grant unique abilities and boost their stats. Combat gets spiced up with the Shard Boost system, which fills up as you fight and lets you unleash powerful abilities when activated. The game also has a unique system where your battles link to the story. Helping certain people or solving cases in specific ways changes what happens next. Outside of combat, you'll use the detective-like Zepha system to gather clues, question people, and solve mysteries as part of Van's Spriggan work. The game's world feels super alive. NPCs have their own stories that change after each story event, and the city of Calvard is full of political drama, underground crime, and high-tech gadgets.
Keep it up.
There!
Bring it on. Keep it up.
Grant of light! White shield!
Thanks, pal.
Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster brings 2 classic RPGs back with updated graphics while keeping the amazing stories and gameplay. Both games focus on gathering 108 Stars of Destiny, unique characters who join your rebellion against powerful empires. The battle system is turn-based with 6 party members instead of the usual 4, and each character has specific weapon types and special rune magic they can use. What makes these games stand out is how many different types of battles there are. Normal fights with your party, one-on-one duels where you choose between attack, defend, and special moves, and massive army battles where you command troops on a strategic map. Between battles, you'll build up your headquarters, which grows from a small hideout into a massive castle town as more characters join. Some characters run shops, others unlock mini-games, and some work together to create powerful weapon combinations. The second game's story about 2 best friends ending up on opposite sides of a war is still one of the most emotional tales in gaming, and the HD remaster makes these classics look better than ever on the Switch. Divinity? Original Sin 2 lets you create a custom character or choose from 6 unique origin characters, each with their own backstory and personal quests, as you try to survive in a world where people with magical powers are hunted. The turn-based combat is all about using the environment and elements to your advantage. Cast a rain spell to create puddles, then zap them with lightning to electrocute everyone standing in the water. Oil slicks can be ignited, poison clouds can be exploded, and blood can be frozen to create slippery surfaces. Outside of battle, you can talk to animals, move objects with telekinesis, and pick up nearly everything not nailed down. The game gives you incredible freedom to solve quests. You might fight your way through a situation, talk your way out, sneak past everyone, or find a completely different approach no one thought of. You can play the entire game in up to 4-player co-op where your friends might help you, or have completely different goals. The game reacts to your choices and character background. Playing as an undead or lizard person completely changes how NPCs treat you and what options you have available. Shin Megami Tensei 5. Vengeance drops you into a destroyed version of Tokyo called Da'at, where you fuse with a mysterious being to become a Nahobino, half human, half god. The battle system is all about exploiting enemy weaknesses. Hit a demon with an element they're weak to and you gain extra turns, but if they hit your weakness, they get the advantage. The real fun comes from the demon negotiation system, where you can talk to enemies instead of fighting them, answering their weird questions or giving them items to convince them to join your team. You can then fuse demons together to create stronger ones that inherit skills from their parents. The Vengeance version adds a whole new story path that completely changes major events. The game's world is open area exploration, where you'll find hidden items, solve environmental puzzles, and try to avoid super strong enemies that can wipe out your party if you're not careful. The difficulty is no joke. You need to constantly update your demon team and think carefully about skill inheritance to survive the increasingly tough battles against gods, angels, and demons. Divinity. Original Sin 2 lets you create a custom character or choose from 6 unique origin characters, each with their own backstory and personal quests, as you try to survive in a world where people with magical powers are hunted. The turn-based combat is all about using the environment and elements to your advantage. Cast a rain spell to create puddles, then zap them with lightning to electrocute everyone standing in the water. Oil slicks can be ignited, poison clouds can be exploded, and blood can be frozen to create slippery surfaces. Outside of battle, you can talk to animals, move objects with telekinesis, and pick up nearly everything not nailed down. The game gives you incredible freedom to solve quests. You might fight your way through a situation, talk your way out, sneak past everyone, or find a completely different approach no one thought of. You can play the entire game in up to 4-player co-op where your friends might help you, or have completely different goals. The game reacts to your choices and character background. Playing as an undead or lizard person completely changes how NPCs treat you and what options you have available.
Persona. Go down.
Paper Mario. The 1,000-Year Door follows Mario's adventure to find the legendary treasure behind the 1,000-Year Door while rescuing Princess Peach from the mysterious X-Naughts. The battle system takes place on a stage with an audience watching your fights. Perform well and they'll cheer, giving you more star power for special moves. Time your button presses perfectly during attacks to deal extra damage, or press the right buttons when defending to reduce damage and even counterattack. Mario is joined by 7 unique partners like Goombella, the archaeology student, and Yoshi, who hatches from an egg you carry, each with abilities that help in both battles and solving puzzles in the world. The paper theme means Mario can fold into a paper airplane to glide across gaps, roll into a tube to fit through pipes, or turn sideways to slip through cracks. The game is is split into chapters where Mario visits wildly different locations like a fighting tournament, a spooky forest, and even a luxury train where you solve a mystery. The humor is fantastic with tons of funny characters and situations, plus secret badges to find that change how Mario's attacks work or give him special abilities. Dragon Quest XI. S follows the Luminary, a hero destined to save the world from the dark forces of the Lord of Shadows. But when the king believes you're actually the Harbinger of Doom, you're forced to go on the run and gather allies who believe in you. The turn-based battle system lets you control each character's actions directly, or set tactics for them to follow while you focus on the hero. Each character specializes in different weapons and abilities. Eric is great with knives and stealing. Serena focuses on healing magic, and Jade excels at martial arts kicks. The game's unique pep system randomly puts characters in powered-up states during battle, where they can use special moves or team up for amazing combination attacks. Outside of battle, you can craft equipment at fun minigame forges, ride monsters across the huge world map, and find tiny metal collectibles hidden everywhere. The Definitive Edition adds a 2D mode that transforms the entire game into a classic 16-bit style RPG, plus additional character stories that weren't in the original release. The game's world is packed with colorful towns where you can talk to everyone, open drawers and pots to find items, and take on side quests. The story takes you through emotional twists and turns across a journey that easily lasts 80+ hours.
You can do it!
And there you have it, the top 20 turn-based games on Nintendo Switch. Whether you love tactical battles, epic stories, or just taking your time to plan the perfect move, these games have something for everyone. Which one looks most interesting to you? Let me know in the comments which game you'll try first. And if I missed your favorite turn-based Switch game, tell me what should have made the list. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to SwitchTop for more Nintendo Switch content every week. Until next time.